So I eventually got my hands on a PS5 and I've been playing catch up, and one of the games that I really dived into was the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima. So I've been going samurai mad, as you can imagine, and I was scouring around, and then I noticed that there was another samurai game that had come across my desk, and it is called Trek To Yomi. Now, we have a gameplay trailer to go through, but what caught my attention was the fact that it's been published by Devolver Digital, and it's also being developed in conjunction with Flying Wild Hog, and I apologise if I butcher this name, Leonard Minacciari. Now, you've probably heard of Flying Wild Hog because they made the Shadow Warrior series and have been juicing a whole load of games recently. Now, as for Leonard, I hadn't actually heard of him until I actually went and started looking into this, but he's developed The Eternal Castle Remastered and also Riot Civil Unrest, which are all relatively small indie-style games. Anyway, what is Trek To Yomi? It is a black and white, gritty style, side-scrolling samurai battling game. And the whole thing screams like an old school black and white action Eastern film. And the game's description reads as a vow to his dying master, the young swordsman Hiroki is sworn to protect his town and the people he loves against all threats. Faced with tragedy and bound to duty, the lone samurai must voyage beyond life and death to confront himself and decide his path forward. So, super abstract, and I honestly don't know really what that means, whether or not it's kind of like a thought journey, but what is really clear is this game has great stylish combat. The swordplay looks swift, gritty, looks like it's got great execution moves, and also looks like it'll actually keep you on your toes in terms of engagement while you're going through the levels. There's also a bow weapon you can use to shoot your enemies away from range, but as I say, what really catches my eye is just the amazing use of swordplay in this. Now, on its own, I don't think the swordplay would be enough to really sell this game, but what they do amazingly well, and I'm sure you can tell just by watching, is the cinematography. The weather effects and how they use the shadows with the black and white, it just looks so good. The level that you do get to see is a town being burnt to the ground, the flames are trickling everywhere. The action looks really fast paced as well, which is great to see in a side-scrolling game, and it really kind of mixes well with that nice thematic music in the background with the fast drums and the sword swinging. They almost feel like they're in time in some parts. And the developers have even gone on to say that they've chosen and picked a score so it feels like it's actually authentic to the time that this game is based around. As for if it's a Metroidvania, will there be further unlocks, are there stats and all that jazz? I just don't have a clue right now. I'm going to speculate and say there's probably going to be different sword moves that you can unlock later on down the line, and probably different uniforms and kits and armors that you can wear. But I honestly think that the main emphasis on this game is going to be all about capturing you in the story and narrative, as well as challenging you just enough with different amounts of swordplay and combat to keep it engaging. This game is also not for those weak of the stomach. There is a huge amount of viscera and gore to it. I think, again, mixed in with the whole black and white theme, it adds a certain stylism to it and really helps emphasize just how bloody and violent sword combat really is. Now, in terms of all the boring stuff as well, this is going to be coming out in 2022. There is no confirmed release date yet, but it is going to be coming out on the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, Series S, and also Windows. So, lots to look forward to. As always, as soon as I know more, I will give you more updates. But until then, have a great day, and I'll be back with more news soon.